All right, good evening, everybody. David Paul with you here in the KHOU 11 Weather Center on a Thursday evening, a day when we got hit by Tropical Storm Bertha. We've been hit by both named storms this season here in Houston, Galveston. Had a direct hit from Arthur, had a direct hit from Bertha. Arthur, like Bertha, was a low-level swirl with the convection blown way off from the center because of upper-level wind shear. Arthur, when it hit us, the wind shear had blown all the upper-level stuff over to New Orleans while the low-level center was hitting here in Houston. So the storm was ripped apart. And Bertha, the mid and upper-level thunderstorm activity was closer. It was down the middle and lower Texas coast, but still blown away from the low-level center. That being said, we still had some big thunderstorms today. We still have a flood advisory, a flood warning in effect for Sugar Land, Missouri City area because of 4 to 5 inches that fell this afternoon. We'll take a look at all of that as we move along, but it is interesting. It's not the first time that Houston, the upper Texas coast, has been hit by 2 named systems in a year. It's happened 3 or 4 times back to the mid-1850s when we started keeping decent records. We know of about 3 or 4 times when specifically upper Texas coast was hit by 2 named systems. One of those years in particular was '89. Chantal and Jerry, they were both Cat 1 hurricanes that season, and then we ended up with this gigantic bitter cold winter. It correlates, it's not causal, but it correlates that when we get a landfalling system in hurricane season in Houston, Galveston, Southeast Texas, we almost every time end up with some sort of winter weather event the following winter. So we'll see. Interesting, the first 2 storms, Arthur came in here, came through Houston, and then Bertha forming here and ended up coming right through. X marks the spot, got hit by both of them. I think the point is that they both developed in the area where we would statistically expect to see tropical development in early season, June and July. So July is winding up. We're about to head into August and September, and this is when everything statistically opens up for business. The Gulf, the Carib, the main development region of the Atlantic, East Coast. So everything's about to open up as far as possible development in much larger parts of the Atlantic Basin. Statistically, that's what we see going into August and September. So CSU, they're forecasting a total of 9 named storms this season. As I told you, I don't put a lot of stock in these forecasts. I really don't care much about them. They don't know where they're going to form or where they're going to go. That's what we're worried about. But, so we've had 2 systems, one in June, one in July. We're actually on track statistically for a normal storm count. We'll wait and see if we end up doing that. This is now Tropical Depression Bertha. Latest update from the Hurricane Center, 7 o'clock advisory. Right over Houston, the low-level center, moving west at 13. We're not seeing any gusts to 50. We're not seeing any winds to 35. It just didn't happen. And this is a 12-hour loop with a visible satellite, so you'll see it go dark when the sun goes down, but it's a great way to see the circulation, the low-level circulation, which was right here, while the upper-level winds were blowing so much of the convection to the south and west, and they're still doing that tonight. There's the track right into Houston, and just look at how, this is where we were getting 30 to 50 mile-an-hour winds in that, down toward Corpus and the Padre Island. And look how it's blown the convection all the way into Mexico. The circulation's right here. It's blown the convection into Mexico. All by those upper level winds, the wind shear just ripping the thing apart. That's why it didn't become a stronger system. Strong enough to give us some pretty good thunderstorms though this afternoon. Here's the wind field, and I wanted to show this to you now. Look at how it doesn't even close off. It's just it's an open wave now. It started out as an elongated low pressure area this morning, and now it's become an open wave. I'm going to pause this right there. So now there is no closed circulation. It's all up and over. There's no closed low, so it's opening up. Honestly, I don't even see a depression here. And radar. So we're still getting a few lingering little showers. Had some big thunderstorms rumble through. This is this goes back to 5 o'clock this afternoon. So we're running a 4-hour loop here, and we had enough heat and humidity build up. We got to the upper 80s today, and with all the humidity from the tropical atmosphere, finally erupted into some big thunderstorms. Jersey Village and Bel Air to Sugar Land to Missouri City. We have a flood warning. That is this area right here. That's the flood warning in effect until 11 o'clock. The rain is gone, but you had a quick 3 to 5 inches down here, Sugar Land and Missouri City to near Bel Air, Meyerland, where we got a lot of street ponding and street flooding. And then this is a flood advisory from the Willowbrook Mall area out to Cypress, Klein included in that, as you guys had a quick 2 to 3 inches of rain. A lot of cloud to ground lightning. I believe there was a house fire reported out in the Woodwind Lakes on the northwest side this evening. A lot of cloud to ground lightning. But you can see things are settling down now as expected. A little closer view of where our flood warning is. So still seeing high water spots on roadways from Sugar Land and Missouri City, Almeda. There's Bel Air. Here's the southwest side of the 610 loop. So, you know, Meyerland, Bel Air area, you guys had heavy rain. You're on the edge of that flood warning that continues into 11 o'clock. So in this area, out Olden Highway 90, southwest side of the Beltway, 59, 69 out to Sugar Land, be careful. Secondary roads have some high water on them. Missouri City, Stafford, Sugar Land. Rain totals. So it's 24-hour totals. This all fell from this morning on, basically, and you can see where the heaviest widespread rain was, over the open waters of the Gulf. While the center of the storm was moving along here, this is where all the heavy rain was, a solid 100, 150 miles south and west of where the center was, displaced by the upper level wind. Let's look at some of these totals from today. Had a few spots down here on closer to the coast, 2.2 inches between El Campo and New Gulf, 1.5 inches between Angleton and Freeport. Galveston, I got you at 1/10 of an inch. Some spots had a little more than that. But it wasn't the coast that ended up with the heaviest rain. It was the thunderstorm activity that just erupted around 3:34, 5 o'clock. 4.5 inches of rain. Bel Air, Meyerland down to Missouri City, Sugar Land. Sugar Land, 3.1 inches of rain. Just tremendous. And it all fell in about an hour, hour and a half. That's why it overwhelmed the drainage, and we still have some standing water because of that. A-Leaf area out the West Park Tollway, west of Beltway 8, good 3 inches of rain there. South side of Katy, 1.7. North side, about 1 inch. This is the Jersey Village area. 3 inches of rain. Had a tremendous thunderstorm rumble through the north and west side, really from Almeda to Acres Home to Woodwind Lakes, Jersey Village, and then it tapered off, but you got up toward Coles Crossing and Black Horse Ranch and up 290. You had a good 1 to 1.5 inches of rain come down. East side, Hobby Airport, 1/2 inch of rain. Mont Bellevue to Baytown, about 1/3 of an inch of rain. Again, this is just from today. Future track going into 11 o'clock. You already saw how the rain is ending, moving to the west, and that trend will continue. I don't expect much activity tonight. And then by tomorrow morning, we're back to just a normal summer pattern, except that we will have a lot of humidity in the atmosphere, very humid atmosphere. The tropical air mass still in place. So even by 6 a.m., models are saying we're going to see a few streamer showers coming in off the Gulf. So there will be a 20% rain chance in the morning. There'll be a 20% chance for an isolated shower at lunchtime. There'll be a 20% chance going into 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. And that's just from leftover humidity values that'll be high. And that's going to put our heat index values up toward 105 to 107 tomorrow. So we're right back to heat. You know, the day before we had a high of 102. Today, highs in the upper 80s because of the tropical storm. And then tomorrow, mid to upper 90s, heat index is way over 100. So it took a tropical storm to give us a one-day break from the heat. Okay, big picture, tropical satellite. There's what's left of Bertha. The rest of the Gulf is open, clear. The Carib is open and clear. The open Atlantic is open. So there's nothing else going on out here right now. We've got a loosely defined tropical wave here. Looks like we've got a wave about to come off the west coast of Africa. Dust, there's a little bit over the Gulf. There's a lot more east of San Juan. So dust is still a factor out here. There's not as much as there was back in June and early July, but there is still dust out here. And just one thing that I notice immediately when I look at these maps, and you can look at it too, is I focus on, is there any area of low pressure showing up? We've got an open wave here, but nothing looking like a tropical low. We have high pressure here. See the clockwise flow? So you got high pressure centered here. Often the dust, if there's a developing system, you'll see it, the dust curlicuing into a developing area of low pressure. But right now we see nothing out here. That confirms what we're looking at from satellite. We don't see anything developing out here. There's the forecast for the dust. More flowing out. Big Bermuda high sitting right here. Little tropical wave right here. See the wave? Open wave. Nothing to worry about. So let's do what we do. Let's look at the GFS in the Euro. Big global models. We look at this every night just to see if there's anything cooking. Again, this is the region we are looking for any activity to develop in. We'd be looking for something that looks like isobars starting to stack up and get lower. 10 millibars and down is what we're looking at. So wherever you see a line, its pressure's down to 10 millibars or below. A little bit of a remnant low with Bertha moving into Mexico right there. This is part of the tropical gyre, kind of the tropical low that we get down here, a broad low pressure area. Nothing developing down there. So we'll put this in motion. We go into Friday, we go into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A lot happened there. So back by Tuesday, North Atlantic low, heading east across the cool Atlantic, non-tropical low pressure. That is a hurricane expected to develop off the west coast of Mexico. But you see nothing that looks like that in our main development region here by next Tuesday. We go out, you can see the low heading off toward Great Britain. There's our hurricane out here. Nothing forecast to develop through Thursday. We'll go ahead and take this out into La La Land, way out in time, 10 days out. Seeing nothing showing up on the modeling, another little North Atlantic low heading off Halifax. But at the moment, modeling is saying nothing through August 2nd. That's fine, and we continue to take it one day at a time as we do, because you'll wake up one morning and things will be different. Did I put this in there twice? Oh yeah, I want to show you this. Oh, well, we're doing it again. Let's talk about the heat that's coming in. So we had a one-day break from the heat, had the big thunderstorms this evening. That's clearing out. Friday, 20% rain chance in the morning, lunchtime, and the afternoon. High temp going to 95. 95 is right on normal statistically for this time of the year. So it's a hot and humid day, but with the tropical humidity, it's more humid than normal. So heat index values tomorrow afternoon, 107 in Columbus, 107 in Houston, Anahuac 107, Liberty 104. It's not the 114 to 117 we saw on Wednesday. That was a unique day. But it's enough to issue your own heat advisory. We don't have an official heat advisory, so issue your own, and then the extended is heat. And we're gonna crank. We go to the upper 90s to near 100 by Sunday. We go to triple digits or maybe a little above Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So we're going into a heat wave next week. We'll be dealing with the hot stuff. At the moment, Weather Service hasn't issued any heat advisories for these days out, but we may very well get those because it is going to be very hot. That's where we stand. Tropical update. Yeah, I'll be really, really curious to see, because here's the deal coming into this winter. We've been hit by two named systems, so there's no it's not causal. There's no reason to say, well, if you get hit by a tropical storm or hurricane in Houston, you're going to get a snow or an ice storm in the winter. It just seems to happen that way. 83, 89. Mia's doing the headlines. Hold on. We're doing double production. We stepped on each other. All right. So what I was saying is we've been hit by a couple of tropical named systems. History shows that we get a winter storm of one sort or another every time we get hit. 83, 89, 2017, 21. What about 26? We'll wait and see. We are going to a big El Nino that can lead to ice storm type situations going into wintertime. So we'll see. Next live updates, KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then.